Dumelang, my name is Jeffet. I'm your Grootman in running. In this video, I'm going to be giving my review of the Quatro Race of Hope. I will discuss things that I think were good and they were proper wins for the race organizers, and things that I think they need to improve. I'll start with the wins. The first win for me are affordable entry fees. We come from COVID, and it seems like every race organizer is trying to make up for the 2 years that they could not organize races. The prices of race entries is a lot, but the Quatro Race of Hope, they kept it very simple and affordable for most of us runners. They kept their 5K at 60 rands, a 10K at 100 rands, and their 21K was just 130 rands. That was a 10 out of 10 for me. The second win for me when it comes to the Quatro Race of Hope was the weather. The day before, I was very worried that it's going to rain, and being me who hate running in the rain or running with wet clothes, I was so worried that it's going to rain. But guess what? It didn't rain. It didn't rain from the start until the last runner came in. Only after runners have left, because me and my club people, we are always the last people to leave races. That's when it started raining. So the weather was a win for me. And I know there's nothing that the race organizers did to get the weather in that way, but you guys chose the perfect date and the weather was perfect on your date. So that's another 10 out of 10 for me. The other win for me is water points and marshals. Let me start with water points. So in most races, you'll find that there's a lot of water or a lot of Coke or a lot of things, and others are lacking, right? But for me, the water points were on point. They had enough water, they had enough Coke. The support crew on those water points was on point. They had a vibe. I enjoyed interacting with them. The other people that were wins for me were marshals. I'm one of those runners that when I see marshals, I get excited and I greet them. And you guys' marshals, the Quatro Race of Hope marshals, were amazing. They were very friendly and they were very encouraging on the route. The other win for me when it comes to the Quatro Race of Hope was the route profile. It was not too hilly, it was not too flat, it didn't have a lot of downs, but it was just balanced. So after being chowed by a hill, when you get to the top, you'll either find another down or you'll find a flat that will give you and your body a chance to recover. And if you wanted a PB, that race would have been the perfect place for you to go get it. So next year, when the race entries open, make sure that you get their entry, because the route is nice and their weather also was supporting the niceness. So PBs were going to fall if you came there. Next year, I'm definitely getting a PB on that race. Even though the race had those other nice things that I mentioned, they also need to improve on the following three things. The first one is attendance. Well, I think after COVID, a lot of runners are still trying to slowly come back to running, but I think maybe they need to just improve a bit on their marketing strategy so that in the next year, they'll get more runners. But the numbers were good, but I think they can do better when it comes to numbers. The other thing that they need to improve on is the safety of our gazebos the day before the race. How do you organize a race and expect runners to bring their gazebos in that morning of the race? It's a lot of work and stress for you to think about the gazebo, to think about your entry, to think about your license on your vest. That's too much admin. Please allow us just to at least stress less when it comes to gazebos. Organize security so that we can bring our gazebos the night before or the day before, and then the following day, the only thing we are worried about is getting to the start of that race and enjoying it. The last thing that I think should be priority is the safety of runners on the road. We can't be running in groups of hundreds or thousands and expect us to be watching out for cars on the road. Can you at least have cones on the road? With those cones, demarcate a small lane where runners can run in safely without the worry of being knocked over by cars. Every year we bury runners that get knocked over by cars while they're running alone. Now imagine it's 100 of us, many of us there on the road trying to fend ourselves against cars. Please sort that thing out. There was no cone on your route whatsoever. We had to fend for ourselves. I hope this can be taken positively as also things to improve for the race. I mean, we're only coming back to races now and popularity of races is returning. Please make sure that in your next race you improve on those, especially the one that speaks to safety of runners on the road. I am your Grootman.